joined us. I see a lot of students, more than 80 plus. All of us are from class 9th and above, right? Or are there parents as well, parents and teachers?
Yes, we have, I think, parents and also the students. And our today's webinar is specifically, I mean, for above ninth class and above students. So I hope.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you for the confirmation. And is everybody comfortable in English, or should I switch to Hindi, or should it be mixed? Okay. The chat responses are saying that English is perfect. Okay, fine. Perfect. So let me begin with a small introduction of my part on my part. So my name is Faizi Rahman, and I am from Center for Training and Academic Guidance. So Center for Training and Academic Guidance is career guidance center established by Human Welfare Foundation, which is a non-profit organization working to striving for and working to make sure that the lives of the marginalized communities in India, people who are coming from margins, their lives get better, and CTAG tries to contribute towards that by helping students and communities make better career decisions, informed career decisions, so that their paths are more successful and they are able to achieve what they want to in their respective careers. So that is about CTAG. As far as my education goes, I have done a bachelor's in technology, mechanical engineering from Delhi Technological Universities. Although my work experience has mostly been in and around education, digital education, career guidance and counseling. I also have a master's in psychology from University of Delhi and a certificate in career guidance and coaching from ICCC, International Career Guidance Organization, and a PG diploma in guidance and counseling from Jamia Millia Islamia. So this is a short introduction from my side. Now, as I have been told that we have to talk about how to select a career, what mistakes to avoid while selecting a career, what all points to consider when we are choosing for a career or going for a stream, and then also to talk about a few options in the end in arts, science, and commerce. So let us begin. But before I begin, I will want to reiterate this that I don't want this to be a lecture sort of a mode. I want this to be an interactive session where I put in some ideas, I put in some questions, you answer them, and you also put in some questions for me to reflect and try and answer. So let this be a more interactive session. So saying that, let us begin. I hope my screen is visible. Kindly, one of you please confirm.
Uh, uh, right now, we can see you only. You have to share your
Okay,
screen.
okay,
Can you share now?
okay, 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 okay. Let me try. Let me try.
Yeah. Yes. It's now visible.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Thank you. So this session is for everybody who is interested to explore what are the options are there in science, commerce, and arts and various streams after class 12, and for everybody who is slightly confused which which stream to take, whether to go in arts, whether to go in commerce or science. So let me begin with something very important, and I want to stress it that if if you forget everything else that I say in this webinar, in this session, and you remember just these few mistakes, I will consider this webinar a success. I will consider it that we have done worthwhile work and our work is at least more than half done. Why am I saying this? Is because these, while doing our research, we have found out that these are the most common errors, most common decision, you can say biases that are there when it comes to choosing which stream to go into or choosing which career to pursue. So what are these very common mistakes and how to get rid of this? how to not make these mistakes. These are the topics that I will touch upon firstly, and then we'll move on to the next topics. But keep in mind, this is the most important part of this webinar, and please make sure that after this session is over, you at least remember all these things and make sure that you don't repeat these mistakes while you are trying to choose your career, trying to ascertain your path. So what is the first mistake that what is the first problem that we see? The first problem we see is, I want to become an engineer because my dad said that this is the best course of action for me. It might be the best course of action for you. You might become a very good engineer, and that's a very good thing. But you'll have to ask yourself, whoever, and I don't mean it as an offense to parents, I don't mean it as an offense to students as well, but you have to choose according to your own strengths and weaknesses. And just because your mom has suggested, your mother has suggested, your father has suggested that you become an engineer, you start, just you agree to that and you stop applying your mind. You have to ask yourself, whether am I suitable for this profession? Whether whether I will be able to do this well, whether doing this will give me joy and happiness, whether I'll be successful in this or not. And if the answer is yes, if you think that yes, you will be a successful engineer or you'll be a successful doctor or lawyer or whatever your parents have suggested to you, then go ahead, definitely do that, definitely go in that career and inshallah flourish in that career. But if your answer is just based on the fact that somebody is pushing you, then I'm pretty sure that you will not be able to continue in that career. You will not be able to grow in that career. And after a few years, I can give it to you in writing that either you have to completely overhaul yourself, completely improve yourself to a very big degree, or you will have to drop out and look for something which is more aligned to your strengths, more aligned to your interests. And I've known this to be true. I've seen a lot of people, a lot of students who went to a profession just because their parents asked them to, and over a period of time, because career is not something which you do for 2 days and then it's all over. It's not like that. Career is something in which you are there for your whole life. Your whole life is built into it. So over a period of time, 10 years, 7 years, 8 years, 5 years, students realize that this course they have chosen or this career they have chosen for themselves because somebody suggested it, they can't really do it. It's giving them a lot of pain, it's giving them a lot of problems, and it's not according to their own strengths and their own abilities, and they drop out. So, my point to you is you have to make a decision, but make a decision in such a way that you don't have to, go and backtrack 3 years down the line, 4 years down the line, you realize that, oh my God, this is not the way to go. This is not the way. I should not have done this. This kind of regret should not be in your mind after 3 years, after 4 years. Please remember this while you make your decision right now. And to parents, I will say definitely you should suggest good career options to your wards, your children. Definitely, we all should guide our children and we all should suggest the best options that are there for you. And yes, your opinions count. They matter a lot because you also know your children well and you're not against your children. But you'll have to, all of us have to also take into account that whether we are suggesting them these options because we want them to become an engineer or a doctor or a lawyer or such and such, or whether it is for their own good. We'll have to ask ourselves very honestly whether we are doing it for them or whether we are doing it for us. And if the answer is that, even in the slightest bit, if the answer is that we are doing it, for our own reputation or for our own happiness, then there is a problem. Because these kind of decisions, you will see that over time these are not very sustainable. In our times, yes, in our times we had parents telling us, and we used to, and we have, in fact, many of us have stuck to a profession for a long time. But in this generation and how the world is evolving, I don't see the practice continuing. And it's not good for any of us. It's not good for our children. It's not good for us because frustration sets in, a lot of resentment sets in, and instead of using that time for growth and passion, students and children start to complain about the career they are in, the post they are in, and they're not able to grow. So being a parent, we really need to be honest with ourselves and ask ourselves whether we are doing this for them or whether we are doing this for our own self, our own happiness, or our own reputation, or another interest. So this is one thing to keep in mind, all our students, all our parents, that do not come into any kind of undue influence by anybody. So you can say that, oh, Faizi Rahman sir has said that, do not listen to your parents. So I'm also telling you, do not listen to your friends either. I have seen many students who just got into a coaching for JEE, a NEET coaching, because all of their friends are going into NEET coaching. So I'm also going to prepare for NEET and MBBS. I will crack MBBS. And in reality, that student went into MBBS coaching, NEET coaching, just because all their friends were there, and he or she did not want to make new friends. He or she wanted their comfort. He wanted their relationship to continue, and for that reason, that student went to prepare for MBBS. He was never interested in MBBS. So if this is happening with you, this is also not right. If you are in undue influence of your family, that's also not right. But if you're under undue influence of your peers, that's also not right. You should know your own strengths and weaknesses, and you should choose your career, choose your course on the basis of your own strengths and your own weaknesses, your own interests, your own abilities, and not on the basis of what your friends are suggesting or what your friends are doing. Because, mind you, you will be stuck in that career. Your friends will not be doing the work for you. You will be the one who will be frustrated in the field because you are the one who is in the field you are not interested in. Your friends are doing, MBBS because they are interested in it. They are not doing it for you, but you are doing it just to remain in their company. So please make sure that this does not happen. Both do not come under pressure of either family, relatives. Do not come under pressure of your friends. Make sure that you have a good understanding, a good awareness of what all interests you have, what all good abilities you have, and choose according to those abilities rather than according to any undue pressure. Next up is what we call, it's a big word, it's called opportunity perception. So what happens with a lot of students is they think that, oh, software engineering and artificial intelligence is a very growing field and there are many opportunities to earn a lot in this. So what I should do is, irrespective of my abilities, irrespective of my interests, I should get into this field and I will earn a lot, because an average engineer, computer engineer, software engineer earns a lot more than an average, let's say, teacher, or an average, let's say, psychologist. So, but let me break this delusion for you. The thing is, if you are a good psychologist, you will earn much more than an average engineer. Or if you are a bad engineer, you will earn much less than even an average psychologist. So it's not about averages, it's not about how the field is overall. It's about what you can do in that field. So even if you enter a field which, let's say, is growing a bit slowly, for example, in India, psychology is growing and there is scope for it, but it's growing a bit slowly, still slow to come out. And if you want to be a very good psychologist, then of course you will have to struggle in that field, but you will be a very good psychologist because you have the passion. You will have the motivation. You will put in that much extra effort to grow and succeed there. But let's say you join a software engineering company after doing a computer science engineering from some college, but you are not really interested in it. You don't want to put in efforts. You are not motivated enough to learn the new things, learn the new tricks of the trade. So what is going to happen to you? Over time, you will become obsolete. So this is, you have to keep in mind that stereotypes are not the way to decide. uh, I was doing another session another day, and I was talking about law as a subject, and why being a lawyer is also a very good option. And somebody said that, law में कैसे जा सकते हैं? How can we become a lawyer? They have to lie and do all these haram things. So this is also a very stereotypical stance on law, because if we go by the sayings of Prophet, it's he also said that, to protect somebody's right, is also a good thing. It's also a good deed. So you might go into law and you might find out that many people are not doing good things, many people are not doing right things, but there is still scope for you to do the right thing, scope for us to do the right thing, to be the model that we want to be. So it's not that certain careers are impossible to, impossible to do good in. It's just that some people over there have done certain things which has earned a reputation for that career, a stereotype for that career, which is not good. It doesn't mean that there's no opportunity for you to grow there if you are actually interested in that field and you actually have the abilities and have the aptitude to flourish in that field. Then of course you will go to the top. Of course you will put in a lot more extra effort than other people, and that will mean that you are in the top of that particular field. And averages, mind you, will not matter for you. I'll give you an example. We say when we actually listen to this that, oh, on an average teachers do not earn much. But go to any coaching institution in Kota and ask their average packages. You'll be surprised. If I ask you to tell me, guess, make an estimate, how much do they earn per year? I don't know if you will be very accurate about it. So that's the amount of money they earn per year. These teachers in Kota, and all of them are not from IITs and IIMs and all these premium institutions. Some of them are just very good teachers. So yes, we must know about the field we are going in, but we must not decide just on the basis of some stereotypes. We must have a bit more, a bit deeper knowledge about that field rather than just deciding on the basis of something that is prevalently said about that career in the society. So these are the three mistakes. The other two mistakes are also very common, very easily very easily found in students who make decisions which are not good. The other two are lack of planning. If you want to become, let's say, a software engineer after 12th, then after 12th you have to, you know, you'll have to plan from right now. You can't wait till you pass your 12th. It's just like, if I give you an example, it's like cooking. So if you want to cook biryani for your house or for your parents, you'll have to plan what to buy, what to put into the biryani, when to put what ingredients should be put at what time. So there is a planning that goes into everything. If you want to go for a holiday, even there you will have to plan which location to go. You'll have to buy tickets for yourself, you'll have to plan what to bring with you. So there is always an element of planning and decision making that goes behind any kind of decision. And if it's your career, you'll obviously have to plan 2 3 years, 5 years, 4 years ahead. So if you're planning for, let's say, software engineering or for law, you'll have to plan which university to take admission into, what kind of test they are taking, what kind of preparation it will take, which coaching institution you'll have to take admission into for that, for that entrance examination. So all of these things you have to plan right now so that you can get into your desired college, your desired course after 12. It can't be like, oh, let me pass my 12 first and then after I will plan what next to do. So if that's the case, then you will not get the best opportunities, and you'll find it a lot troublesome to get into the best colleges and best universities. So wherever you are, whichever class you are, whatever you are planning, whatever your career is, be it pilot, be it engineer, be it doctor, be it a psychologist, be it a lawyer, be it a teacher, whatever you are planning to become, you'll have to start planning from it right now. There is no excuse for not planning, because if you don't plan, when the moment arrives, you're completely clueless what to do, and at that moment in time nobody will be able to help you. Nobody, even us, your coaching teachers, your school teachers, your parents, they won't be able to help you. You'll have to drop a year, or you'll have to drop more than a year to make sure that you are successful. And then the last and the most important part is, there's a saying in Hindi. It's called "Kuएं का मेढक." I'm pretty sure that you all have heard of it, haven't you? Yes. So the thing is, if we are not aware about what are the options that are there, then how can we come at an informed decision? If you're not even aware about what what all options are there after 12th in arts, science, and commerce, how are we even sure whether the decision we make is correct or not? And in some sense, all of us lack awareness, because not because we are not good enough people. It's just because this is how the job market right now is. This is how the career prospects are right now. It's growing exponentially. It's growing so fast. Even we career counselors have to put in a lot of effort to make sure that we keep up with all the new information, all the new kinds of careers, and all the new kinds of options which are available. So you also have to, on your own level, make sure that you are updated before you make a decision. Let's say you only know about two, three careers, doctor, engineer, teacher, and you make a decision only on the basis of that. Do you think that decision will be good enough? Anybody in the chat? Or if you can unmute yourself and respond.
Faiz Saab, I mean, we can take question and answers, when later after your presentation is completed. So,
Okay, okay, okay. That
yeah,
that can be
I'm
that can be
recording
done.
all the queries. So we
Okay,
will take all those questions after your presentation, inshallah.
okay, okay, okay. Okay.
Okay,
So
thank you.
the point is that if you're not aware about everything, almost the important things, if not everything, then the decision we make is not going to be accurate. It's not going to be. It's not going to be something reliable. It's going to be biased. So we have to make sure that we are aware of at least the major options that are present in all the streams, and then accordingly choose which option is the best. Now, these five mistakes, I'll recapitulate again: lack of planning, lack of awareness, influence either by family or peer pressure, and opportunity perception, misperception. These are the five common mistakes that we have to make sure that we avoid. Now, any one of you, all of you might have a question like how to avoid those kind of mistakes. So it's very simple. You have to avoid those mistakes by doing career planning, by knowing yourself, who you are, what do you want, where you want to reach in future. So what are the steps of career planning? First, you have to explore yourself. You have to do a self-assessment to find out what are your interests, what are your personality, what are your aptitudes. You'll have to explore what are the options there, screen from the options, decide and choose for yourself, set a goal, and then evaluate and use that feedback to again make another decision. So these are the 6 steps of career planning that we all need to do in order to make sure that we don't fall prey to a bad decision. So in assessment of self, what does self-assessment mean? So in terms of career, you will have to have an idea of at least three things about yourself: interest, personality, and your skill. You can remember it by the acronym IPS: interest, personality, and aptitude or skills. You'll have to know your own interest, your personality, and your skills in order to make a good decision. So, what are interests? Interests are your likes and your dislikes, the things you want to do when you are free. Nobody is paying you to do those things, but you are still doing it. Those kind of things which make you feel energetic, which make you feel happy, the things which you are curious about, the things which you desire to learn about, or desire to hear more about, or desire to be involved in. These are the things which you are interested in. You all must have different hobbies. Some might some might be interested in playing certain games. Some might be interested in writing, or some might be interested in watching movies. Some might be interested in playing games, mathematical games like Sudoku, chess, etc., etc. So you have to have an idea that whether whatever career you want to go into, suppose you want to go into mathematics, so are you really interested in learning mathematics? Do you take time for yourself and try to learn about it on your own when nobody is asking you to do that? So make sure that whatever you choose, whatever stream you choose, you are actually interested in doing that. You're actually curious to know about that subject. Then only you will flourish in that subject. You will succeed in that subject. So be very careful about this and note it down somewhere in your mind that if you are not interested in something, I'm pretty positive about it, pretty sure about it, that you will not be able to carry out in that field, carry out in that field of study for a long time. If you have no interest, if you have just a compulsion, then over time your motivation will die down and you will have to switch fields or leave that field. So interest is an important part that you'll have to know about yourself. Then comes personality. So personality is something which makes you you. Different people have different patterns of behavior. Some people, when they are put in an uncertain situation, they become anxious. Some people, when they are put in an uncertain situation, they become strong. They want to face the adversity. Some people become angry. Some people go into their shells. So there are different patterns to our behaviors. All of us have different patterns. If we categorize it broadly, there are people who are introverts, who don't want to interact a lot with other people, who feel it is draining for them to interact with other people. And then there are people who are extroverts who
Uh, Faisa, we cannot hear you. I think you're,
if
yeah, we cannot hear you. Uh, yeah.
kindly please confirm, am I audible?
Yes, now you can. Yeah. Actually, I'm receiving
Okay.
some complaints from participants that voice is little bit dropping. So, what I suggest is, if we can, disable the video from you and we continue with the presentation, if
Sure,
possible.
sure, 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 sure.
Okay.
Let me disable.
So after, yeah, in the question answer sessions, we can have, see you.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
okay.
Thank you.
No problem. So I have disabled the video. So personality is what makes everybody unique and everybody different from others. We all have different patterns of relating with other people, different patterns of relating with situations. An introvert person will like to be with themselves, will think a lot about situations, will have a lot of ideas about certain things, but they're not that comfortable sharing those ideas. And when we ask introverted people to come on a stage and tell us about their ideas, they feel very tired doing so. They feel drained by that interaction. On the other hand, extroverts gain energy from interaction. So how is this important for career decision making? It is important like this. Let's say you are an introvert and you choose a sales job because of some compulsion, or you choose a marketing job because of some compulsion. You will not find it very easy to stick in that job. And right now, you might think that this is a very extreme example, but in my career, I have seen several introverts go into sales and marketing because of this compulsion or that compulsion, or they thought they will earn a lot of money, and they went there and they tried to stick there, and none in my knowledge have been able to stay more than 2 3 years. Similarly, if you are very extroverted, if you are somebody who wants to talk to people, you want to be social, you want to, put your thoughts out. You will not work in a situation where there is no interaction. You would not want to become an accountant and do a very boring job where you are not getting any opportunity to interact with other people and share your thoughts. So you'll have to make sure, you'll have to consider whether the job you want, whether the career you want, and your personality, does it match or does it go completely opposite? If it goes completely opposite to your personality, either you will have to change your personality, change yourself, which can be done at your age. If you are a class 9 student, class 10 students, you have ample time to grow. You can grow and become a different, better person, better version of yourself, or you can switch to a different area which is more suited to your personality. But make sure that you have a grasp of your personality, what kind of a person you are, whether you are introvert, whether you are extrovert, whether you are slightly traditional, whether you are creative, whether you are very open to different experiences or not. So make sure that you have an idea about your own personality before you make a decision on the basis of career. Next up is skills or aptitude. So I use skills and aptitude both similarly, although technically an aptitude is something which is innate, which is natural. But I would also say that if we put in certain efforts, if we try, certainly our abilities as well improve. So I will also say that it is kind of a semi-skill. If you want to play tennis and if you practice sufficiently, you will definitely grow a bit. If you want to become a debater and if you practice debating for hours and hours, there's also a 10,000 rule, an expert rule given by Maxwell, Gladwell, Malcolm Maxwell. So he says that if you practice a skill for 10,000 hours, you might as well gain mastery over it. So I will not say it's just aptitude, it's also skill, but you have to put in the effort if you want to succeed in certain skills. So what are different kinds of aptitude? First up is spatial aptitude or visual aptitude. So what are the spatial aptitudes or visual aptitudes? So a person who is high in spatial aptitude, they are picture smart. They have the ability to think in pictures and images. They can imagine things. For example, this picture is given of a sphere, solid shape. So they can draw their design different from different perspectives, how it will look. That they can imagine in their own mind. So for somebody who's very smart in terms of picture, if they can imagine things well, different careers are there for them. For example, they can become a designer, they can become an architect, a civil engineer, urban planner. So for these abilities, these careers are suitable. Next is verbal aptitude. A person who has high verbal aptitude is good with words. They are able to understand and respond to verbal information. So they are good at convincing other people. They are good at arguing. For example, politicians, orators, lawyers, teachers, news debaters. These people are word smart. They are able to handle verbal information very well. So some of you must be very good at words. Some of you must be very good at language. So for those people, for those of our students, these few options are there. Then some of us are smart in numerical aptitude, logic, numbers, the capacity to use numbers effectively and the capacity to reason well. So mathematics, statistics, economics, accountancy, these are the careers which are suitable for people who have high numerical or logical aptitude. Then some people are body smart. By body smart, we mean the ability to physically handle movements. Hand-eye coordination is strong. So these people are good at sports coaching, dancing. They can become police officers. They can go in army. They can become PT teachers. So these are certain. I've given some examples of different kinds of aptitudes and what are the suitable careers for those who have high aptitude in their areas. So our students have to assess themselves to get an idea what kind of aptitude they have what kind of interest they have, and what kind of personality they have, so that they arrive at a good career option or a career choice. So this is the first thing to do. The first thing to do is to assess yourself, assess your interest, assess your personality, and assess your aptitude. Once you are able to assess your aptitude and personality and interest, then you can write down what options, what better options are there. So let's say if I assess that I have a very good visual power, very good spatial power, and I am good with people, so I can try to become an architect. So now I will explore possibilities. What are the good careers in architecture? And apart from architecture, what could be my plan B? So make sure that once you have self-assessed, once you have make an assessment of yourself, you also explore possibilities and at least keep at least two plans. Plan A, and then you have plan B or plan C. What what plans or what career or what university and course that you are going to pursue. So this is how you select careers. Now we will move on to the more important and informative part of the presentation, which is what are the different courses which are available in India and the better universities that are there in different streams. So let me start my presentation, and some of you please confirm whether you can see the new presentation. Any of you, please. Parvez Saab, if you can.
Sir, we are able to
Yes,
see.
yes, we can see. We can see the screen, Faisal.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. So now I have broken this down into your customary three parts: science, commerce, and arts. And let's visit
I think
this
not
part.
not the
We,
right
we can see
presentation.
the question and answer screen only now.
Yeah, not the right presentation.
Okay, okay. Let me try again.
You have to share the other screen, I think.
Okay, let me.
Yes,
Is it visible now? Okay, thank you. Thank you.
yes.
So we will go one by one, and because we have only a limited amount of time, so I will not go into very into depth of each of these streams. But I will try to give you at least an overview of what options are there in each of these streams. So first of all, we have science. In science, we have group one, which is physics, chemistry, and math. So in physics, chemistry, and math, we have engineering, technology, architecture, and design. So various courses are there. For example, there is BTech, Bachelor in Engineering, BS. Various courses are there: aerospace, agriculture and food, mechanical engineering, computer science engineering, software engineering. In different courses, you can say architecture is there, fashion technology is there, B design is there, B planning is there. There is also a dual degree program, which is BTech MTech combined, which is offered by different universities in India, and institutes like IIT and IT offer them dual degree programs. So they are offered in different specializations like computer science, engineering, physics, petroleum, polymer science, textile engineering, material science. In science group, you can also do plain graduation from physics, chemistry, mathematics, statistics. So all these options are there for students who want to pursue physics, chemistry, and math. So they can sit for higher studies in management or technical field. They can also go for civil services. They can join research and academics. They can join armed forces. They can do a job in technical company. They can start their own businesses. They can start a technical venture. So all of these options, mostly, if you talk about, most options are open for students from PCM, except the biology option. In biology, you might get biotechnology, but other than that, other biology options are closed for PCM students. Other than that, most options are open for PCM students. So if you are interested in math and good in math, then you can certainly opt for PCM at the level of class 11. And after that, according to how your interest evolves, you can take any of these courses. There are professional courses like BTech, BE, and there are also non-professional courses like BSc. Uh, there are also research courses like BS. These are certainly new, and new universities and institutions have been established by Government of India. For example, Indian Institute of Science Education and Research (IISER). They are institutions which are similar to IITs, but they are working in science education and research. Another similar institution is Indian Statistical Institute, as good as an IIT, but working in statistics and mathematics. So if somebody is interested into going in science research, or somebody is interested in going into statistics and research, then they can try for ISI, IISER. There is another institution called Indian Institute of Science, which is situated in Bangalore. So IISc is another option apart from engineering, BTech, and and then of course there is B planning, BF Tech, architecture. These options are available. So what are the exams that you'll have to clear for this? So for B and BTech, the first exam that you'll have to clear is JEE Main. JEE Main exam you can take after class 12. The forms are out in December and in February. The last date are usually Jan and March. These exams happen twice a year, and questions are asked on the basis of physics, chemistry, and math. And it's very common. It has been very similar in the last 10 to 5 years. A very similar pattern has always been there. It's a 3-hour exam, and there is negative marking -1 and +4 for a correct answer. It is mostly conducted in online mode. So if you prepare your NCERTs well, and if you understand your concepts well, you can clear JEE Main examinations, and by clearing JEE Main examinations, you can gain admission into NITs, triple ITs. Mind you, you cannot get admission into IITs on just basis of JEE Main. For that, you will have to clear JEE Advanced. But if you clear JEE Main only, you are eligible to apply in all the IIT, all the NITs and triple ITs which are there. National Institute of Technology, Indian Information Institute of Technology, which are there in the country, and state engineering colleges. So these are conducted twice a year before JEE Advanced. Then there is paper 2 of JEE Main. So those people who want to go into architecture, they write the paper 2. So paper 2 consists of math, aptitude, and drawing. So it is in total 500 or 400 marks. For planning, they have a separate paper. For architecture, they have a separate paper. Again, NITs and triple ITs take admission on the basis of JEE Main paper 2. So if you want to go into an IIT, then you'll have to crack JEE Advanced. So JEE Advanced, BE, BTech in IITs and other centrally funded technical institutions, and IASC and IASER and all these top institutions you can get admission into by cracking JEE Advanced. So you cannot directly give JEE Advanced. First you have to write JEE Main, and if you get a certain, you pass the cutoff criteria of JEE Main, then you will be allowed to write JEE Advanced. And once you write that exam and you are selected, then you can get admission into the most prestigious Indian universities and Indian institutes of technology. So the JEE Advanced pattern is slightly difficult. It is so difficult that I don't think that at this point in time it is possible to crack JEE Advanced without preparing for it at least 1 year or 2 years. If you're preparing for it, if you're taking 2 years time, it's good that you're preparing right after 11th and 12th. Or if you're trying after 12th, then that also can be possible. So they have physics, chemistry, math, and the patterns usually change. They have 2 papers. So make sure that you try really hard for this. You put in a lot of effort for this, because the competition is very high and the questions are very tough and very tricky as well in JEE Advanced compared to JEE Main. So yes, it is difficult, but it's a very prestigious examination. If you crack it, then definitely your future will be very, very bright. And I don't see even those students who drop out of an IIT, they do really, really good, even if they drop out of it. So you will get a very good exposure, very good environment to work in. IITs usually have very good top class infrastructure. I've been uh, work have been on and off working with them time and again. So they have very good infrastructure. Usually they also provide good student support as well, counseling and everything. So JEE Advanced is something to really look out for, really try for if you are interested in becoming a very good engineer and if you have good abilities in physics and math and as well as chemistry. So this is for BTech. If you want to go into an IIT for architecture, then you will have to write paper 2. So paper 2 will have questions in drawing and your basic general aptitude. So that will be there for architecture if you want to get into JEE for an architecture course, an IIT for an architecture course. So then you will have to write JEE Advanced paper 2. Another exam for architecture is NATA, National Aptitude Test in Architecture. So there are, apart from IITs and NITs, there are various central government and state government colleges which offer PR courses. So these take admission on the basis of your rank in National Aptitude Test in Architecture. The exams consist of these three sections: mathematics, general aptitude, and drawing. So if some of you are not interested in physics and chemistry, but your drawing is good, your math is good, and you want to, go into architecture, this is a very good exam for you. You don't have the headache of writing physics. You don't have the headache of writing chemistry. You can simply prepare your maths and a general aptitude, which is 10th level math and reasoning, and you'll have to have command over your drawing. Then you can crack this exam. The exam forms are usually out in March. So all of you who are in 12th right now, you'll have to look for the form in 12th in March next year. And the last date is usually April or May. The forms are online. Questions are multiple choice, and sometimes numerical answer questions are also there. Negative marking has never been there in NETA, but it can change. The pattern can change, and it is conducted twice or thrice a year. So it's always more or less available. In 3 months' time or 6 months' time, you can write the test and get your marks, and secure an admission on the basis of this. So this is a very good test for you, those who want to go into architecture. Now coming over to the science B group, which is the physics, chemistry, and biology group. So for them, of course, the best career is MBBS, which is medicine, alternative medicine as well, BAMS, BHMS, BSMS. These careers are good for doctors in India. I believe that they are not the scope is not that much outside of India for these careers. BDS is a good career. BDS definitely. If you dentistry is something which every society and every country needs. So BDS is certainly a very good option after MBBS. Then paramedical courses are there: BSc, nursing, optometry, occupational therapy, physiotherapy. You can say dietitian, pharmacy, uh, veterinary sciences, agriculture, and a lot more other options are available for PCB group. They can also do plain graduation in physics, chemistry, or biology, or zoology, molecular biology. There are a lot of options for biology students. They can prepare for state civil services. If they want to, become civil servants, they can start their own hospital, clinic. They can also work in a pharmaceutical or medical equipment manufacturing company, go into research and academics. So there's a lot of options open for those students who take PCB. They can also go into biotechnology. And there are a lot of new biology fields which are open right now for those who also take mathematics along with bio. For example, biostatistics, biotechnology. So these are very new fields, and upcoming fields are there in biology. So some of the exams which you have to take to get admission into good colleges. The first exam is very, very famous. All of you must know about it. Is National Eligibility Cum Entrance Test, which is NEET. On the basis of NEET, you will get admission into government, central and state very prestigious medical colleges, as well as some private colleges, MBBS, BDS, BMS, BUMS, BHMS, as well as some paramedical courses are there which are available through NEET. The forms are usually out in March, last date is April, and exams take place in May. The test is usually offline, duration is 3 hours 20 minutes. This has also not changed for the last 4-5 years. There are 4 sections: physics, chemistry, botany, and zoology. Out of 50 questions, you will have to attempt 45 questions, the questions that you feel that you know best, and 45 questions from each section. In total, 720 marks are there, and if you get around 620, 630 marks, you will get a very good college if you are in general category. Otherwise, your category specific marks will apply. So NEET is the first option for those candidates who want to get into a career of medicine or paramedical. What are the other options? The other option is somewhat neglected, and I want to highlight it very well, is AIIMS paramedical. There are many students who try to go for NEET, but due to some reason or another, they miss by some marks, and then they take admission into private colleges in some B Pharma courses or BMLT courses, which are no doubt useful, but they don't know that AIIMS, India has several AIIMS right now, 9 AIIMS which are functioning, and they offer a lot of paramedical courses like nursing, optometry, operation theatre, MLT, speech therapy, physiotherapy, and dietitian. So all of these courses in various AIIMS are offered through an entrance exam called AIIMS BSc entrance exam. The exam forms are usually out in January or February, and the test happens in May. It's going to happen soon for this year. The syllabus is physics, chemistry, biology, and a bit of general knowledge. And sometimes they also ask math. So this is the pattern for BSc nursing and BSc paramedical courses in the AIIMS. If any of you are opting for NEET, I will request you that please explore BSc nursing and BSc paramedical in AIIMS as well, because they are very useful courses. You will get a tag. You will get a tag of AIIMS, which is very important, and is definitely going to help you in your careers abroad, as well as in helping you in landing a very good job, because an AIIMS is a very prestigious place to get a degree from. So I request you again to please consider at least paramedical courses from the national AIIMS institutes of India, because they are very, very good. And if you are trying for NEET and if you miss by a few marks, chances are that you will clear AIIMS BSc, definitely. Then moving on to the other options, which is commerce. So in commerce we have chartered accountant. All of us, I'm pretty sure, know about chartered accountant. Then we have company secretary. We have cost and work accountant, which is now called cost and management accountants. We have CFA, certified financial analyst, and there are other certifications like actuary, investment analyst, stock broker. So if you go into finance and commerce, you can always go for higher studies. You can go for management. You can opt for social work. You can join a government organization like Planning Commission, Niti Aayog, CAG, International Monetary Fund, etc. You can go into consulting in taxation and financial planning, or you can join a bank, insurance or stockbroking company, or you can go into research and academics as well. You can start your own business venture in financial practices, become a CA, cost accountant, or a cost and management accountant, and you can start your own venture. So The courses available here are BCom, BSc, BBA, Bachelor's in Financial Analytics, BCom Professional. Some of the professional courses are Chartered Accountant. So one myth or stereotype about Chartered Accountant is that only math students or commerce students can do it. No, even an art student can technically register in CA Foundation and clear CA exam, but they must be good at basic math and they must be good at language and reasoning abilities. If they are good at that, then they can be allowed to participate and register for CA. So in CA, the route is like this. First route is after 12, you can register in foundation examination and then go for intermediate course, or you can do your graduation either in commerce or other than commerce, and then you can directly apply for intermediate course. After intermediate course, you will have to complete the final course and do an internship, and then you will become a CA. CA is not a very easy course to complete. Even if you clear the foundation exam, the intermediate exam, it is a difficult exam. So mind you, try to encourage only those students who are really good at financial calculations and do not get bored of these calculations, because if you are not interested in this, it is difficult to clear this exam. So I will highlight this. Do not enter this field, taxation and accountancy, if you are not that interested in it and if you don't have the abilities. If you don't feel like you have the aptitude, it will be very difficult for you to clear the exam. A similar exam is actuarial common entrance test. It is for actuaries. Actuaries are those people who predict risks. For example, they do calculations like a life insurance company should have how much premium should Life Insurance of Corporation of India should take from us so that they don't go into losses. So these kind of calculations are done by actuaries. Actuaries, anybody can become an actuary, but they should have maths in their class 12. The exam is not that easy, but it's class 12 level mathematics that they ask, math, statistics, a bit of data interpretation, and slight bit of English. So if somebody out of you is not that interested in physics and chemistry, but has very good math and statistics, and they want to work in statistics and they want to work in a company regarding finances and insurance, actuary is a career for you. Even they have 9 exams that you have to pass, but even if you pass 4 actuary exams, I'm pretty sure that you will land a very good job in a good corporation. There are very few actuaries, complete actuaries in India right now. So it's a very lucrative career, very good career for you to look. So those of you who are interested, definitely go and explore this and ask about it from us if you don't get enough information. Then there is a course for commerce students. For those students who are preparing for CA, they can opt for CS, company secretary. The role of a company secretary is somewhat similar to a chartered accountant. A chartered accountant is more interested in taxation, accountancy, looking at how they can save tax and go and still function according to the law. A company secretary audits companies which have become large enough so that they operate according to the labor laws of the country. So every large company, every medium-sized company has to make sure that they are audited by a company secretary every year. If they are not, the government can cancel their registration and they can cancel the company. So a company secretary is needed. Company secretary is somewhat easier than a chartered accountant test. So those who are opting for a chartered accountancy, they can also sit for company secretary exam. The whole duration of the course is also smaller, and the exam is also easier to qualify. First, you register in the executive program, you give the test, register in the executive program, and then after that you give the executive exams. Then there is a professional program, and after that you will have to do an internship and you will become a company secretary. So these courses are there. Apart from this company secretary, there is another course which is not mentioned in the presentation. That course is cost and management accountancy. So again, similar to chartered accountancy and company secretary both, but also somewhat different. That cost and management accountants are more interested in trying to make sure that the profits of the company increase. They are more interested in the management side of the things. They want to reduce costs and make sure that the companies have maximum profits. So that's also a course that is popular in India, and it is more easier to crack than CA course, Chartered Accountant course, and it's a very good, very prestigious course. So all of our commerce students, they are requested to. I really encourage them to explore this, and if they have any questions, then reach out to us. Now, in arts and humanities, I will not go very deeply into arts and humanities, but just try to summarize a few careers. So the degrees are BA, BA Honors, BSW, BBA, BRS, etc. that you will get in many different specializations. For example, psychology, history, sociology, economics, political science, archaeology, philosophy, social work, public administration. You can learn languages. The career prospects are you can go for management, social work, prepare for civil services examinations, join government organizations. You can do research and consulting. You can also opt for a private or corporate job. So there are many different options that are available in humanities and arts. For getting admission into the best colleges and universities, you will have to write what is called Common University Entrance Test right now, which is conducted by NTA. Uh, Before a few years back, uh, there was no CUET, and every university used to have their own entrance test. Right now, most central universities take admission through this test only. So all the UG programs and courses, BA, BSc, BCom, for every stream, if they want to get into non-professional courses, the students have to take CUET. So there are three sections: language, the domain they want to enter, and general test. All of these sections must be written. The three tests must be written, and on the basis of the marks of these three tests, a student can get admission into central universities like University of Delhi, JNU, Jamia, Aligarh Muslim University, University of Hyderabad. All of these major universities, central universities, which are in the country. So right now, it is the most important test, even for those who are in science, commerce, or biology or arts. If they want to get admission into a non-professional degree, into a university degree, they have to write CUET. So I encourage all of you, even those who want to write JE, because some BTech courses are also there. Even those who want to go for law, CLAT, some law courses are also there in good universities in CUET. So these are the prospects for art students. As far as law is concerned, law options are always there. BA LLB, BCom LLB, BSc LLB, BTech LLB, in different law NLUs, and then Delhi University and other AMU, Jamia, and other different universities are available. The career prospects are good in law, and they will become better in law over time. As technology is integrated into law, it will become even better. There are many options right now: corporate law, litigation. You can go into research. You can become a lawyer and never visit a court, and even then earn very good. So it's not like you'll have to go court and mess with criminals and all of that. That stereotype is not true. There's a lot of options in law as well. For law, the national level examination in India right now is Common Law Admission Test, which is called CLAT. The test has four sections, which is language, current affairs, legal reasoning, logical reasoning, and quantitative techniques. And it also has a negative marking like most of the tests. So these are the few options. There are also other options like management, sports, hospital management, mass communication, uh, sports coaching, economics, social work. Design field I've also touched upon a few slides back. USEED, visual arts, applied arts. So all of these options are open for streams of almost every stream, not only art streams. So these are the few courses that I had to share with you. Another important course, college or institute you can pursue is NIFT, National Institute of Fashion Technology. They conduct their own entrance examination. So this is also something to keep in mind if you are interested in design and fashion technology, which is also an evolving field and a very important field for the future. Sports and sports management as well. Those who are interested in sports, they can try their hand at sports, and also at the same time study coaching. The Sports Authority of India right now hires a lot of coaches, so they have two options with them as well. And if you
Installing
want to be, Waslam,
Yeah,
Waslam.
yeah. Actually, I mean, I wanted to suggest you something. I mean, we can have, I mean, like these courses, if we have, questions from our participants, I mean, related to, what you have not covered, we
Sure,
can, I
sure,
mean,
sure.
cover these under the question and answer session. Uh, because
Okay.
we had planned for an hour, I mean, webinar,
Oh,
and I
okay,
think
okay, okay, okay,
questions will be,
okay,
questions. There will be a
okay.
lot of questions. So
Sure, sure.
so if we can accommodate I mean, questions, and then if the questions are related to other than which you have not covered and it comes, then we can refer to these courses. And also, if possible, I mean, we will share this presentation to the participants.
Sure, sure, sure.
So
I will share
in
the link.
future, yeah. Yes, in future also, if they have any queries, we have a WhatsApp forum, so they can, ask queries and questions to in the group, so that, I mean, you can reply to them, I mean, in the group also. So, what's your suggestion on this, Faisal?
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Instead of covering everything, it will be better if
Yes.
we take a question. Right.
Yes, I have received a lot of questions, I mean, from participants during your presentation itself, and also I suggest or I invite other participants to write their questions in the chat box, so that Faisal can answer your queries, I mean, specifically. So we will start with the first question which I had noted. There was one question they were asking about, do we have a combined program after 10th with a foundation course that is going, I mean, without going through 11th and 12th, like some of international institutes offer,
In India right now, CBSE and other state boards, they don't offer this, and even the international schools in India, which run on certain IB boards, Cambridge, etc. Right now, they are not offering this foundation. Although an interesting course has come up in at graduate level, where somebody can do a course from arts as well as, in combination with science or with mathematics in Ahmedabad University, or university like Ashoka University near Delhi. But at plus two level, it's not there in India.
Okay. So I hope the question is answered. There is a second question. Do you suggest any right universities? Because it's a big question, that which is the best one for us in what,
Okay,
I mean, like,
for different, yes, yes, surely. For different
go ahead.
streams, for example, yes, for different streams, for example, if we talk about engineering and science, the best universities are IITs. For science, it is IISER, IISc. For mathematics, it is ISI, Indian Statistical Institute, Chennai Mathematical Institute, Indian Institute of Mathematics and Application. So these are some of the best universities for science, mathematics. For biology, University of Delhi is very good. NISER is also very good, National Institute of Science Education and Research. For general graduation, all the University of Delhi colleges are very good. Some colleges like Christ in the south is also very good. Uh, for arts in general, you will see that Presidency College is very good in Kolkata. In Delhi, University of Delhi is very good. In arts, JNU is also very good. Jawaharlal Nehru University. In Jamia, you can say that it is exceptional in law. So there are different streams according to which good universities varies. Some universities are good in certain, famous for certain courses. Some universities are famous for certain other courses. So it will depend.
Right. Uh, right. So the third question, there are two questions related to your first presentation, where you have mentioned common mistakes slide. In during
Right,
that, I mean, a couple of questions are there. Please share any success stories who followed your suggestion and took
right,
decisions in it.
right,
Yeah.
right. So one student who came to us in during his class 11th, actually at the end of his class 10th, and he
Okay.
came with his parents, and he wanted to opt for commerce. And he actually he came to my office, and before saying anything, before even saying his name, he said, "Sir, I want to take commerce." So I was surprised, and his parents were telling me that, oh, we want our child to go for JE. He can easily crack JE and become a very good, uh, you know, very good engineer and build a very good career. So I was surprised because the student himself was adamant that I want to do commerce only. I don't want to go into JE. And the parents, both the mother and the father, they were kids. They were pressing me that you should try and convince him. Otherwise, he's trying to waste his time, waste his career, so to say. So I was a bit pressed at that time, but I wanted to find out why this student wanted to go into commerce. So I pressed him. I tried and asked him a few times. He was reluctant in the first few sessions, but over a few sessions, I got to know that his real motivation to go for commerce was that if he goes for the science stream, he will be uh, taken to a coaching institution and will be enrolled there, and he'll have to also do the school work. So there will be no time left for him. He'll have to study 12 hours a day. So that was his main fear. And even he was good in physics. He made a very good project in physics and had earned a distinction for it in the school. And he usually used to carry out physical physics experiments in his home. And he was also somewhat, you could say, a very dynamic child, very you can say attention. He also had problems with attention, focusing. So over time, I got to know that if he went into commerce, he will have a lot of problems trying to focus on solving accounting problems. That was something he was not able to do very well. But he wanted to do that just because he was avoiding science, because he was thinking that he will have to put in 12 hours a day. So once I got to know of his motivation in a few sessions, then I talked with his parents and I told him that this is his real fear. This is what he fears, and if you can, assure him that you will not put him in a coaching, force him to go into a coaching and study 12 hours a day. Maybe he will take up science and he's good for science, and his interest lies there, but he fears a lot that he will have no life left after taking up science. So both of them, the son and the parents, they after a few rounds they agreed to this, that okay, both the parents came around and the student as well came around, that okay, we are right, and commerce is not the best and the suitable option, and in fact it's good to go with physics itself. And yes, the parents also accepted his demand that he will be put in a coaching. Only he demands it. Only if he thinks that he's not able to get the better scores and he's not able to perform as well as he wants. So that was agreed upon, and he ultimately took physics because that was his interest. That's where his interest and abilities aligned. And after a few years, we found out that he got admission into an IIT, and is right now he's right now pursuing software engineering. So that's a very typical story that I share with people. It's a very typical case where no party was uh, even in a mood to listen to the other party, and they were making decisions on the basis of going off track and not looking at the what the interests are there, what are the strengths and weaknesses are there of the students. Both parties were not willing to look at that. They were just trying to avoid certain things, and that resulted into that clash, which finally luckily we solved it. So this is one success story that of a student who followed my suggestions. And in general, this is not my suggestion. This is what research shows up, that these are the typical mistakes that students make while making decisions.
Right. Thank you for that. There's second question again with reference to common mistakes. How does a student know if they are suited for a certain field? I think you have said in your presentation, suggestion was IP, follow IPS, interest, personality, and skills aptitude. If you want to add to
Yes.
it anything, you can go ahead, sir.
If there is a lot of confusion, they might need assessment, psychometric assessment, and they might need talking to a counselor. If there is no confusion as such, if that clears things up, their interest in personality and aptitudes are not in clash with each other, then that's very easy. It's easy to arrive at a decision. But sometimes what happens is that the student wants something, but they don't have the aptitude in that thing. So these kind of clashes happen, and this is where career counselors come into the picture. And the student and the parent both need to go to a career counselor, do a proper assessment, a deeper assessment to get where the things are, getting into clash.
Yeah. Okay, good. This fourth question, can you please suggest some universities in India or in abroad, like which university is good for what career? Because it's hard to select the good universities.
For India, I already mentioned a few universities for science, arts, and I think commerce.
Yeah.
International universities, you can contact our number because in international university, I don't have the expertise, so I will not say anything which universities. I know a few universities which are good in a few areas, but I would rather that they contact ctag.in and our counselor will then answer that question.
Sure. Sure. Uh, there's one question related to the medical field. Does AIMS offer MBBS and BDS courses? How to get admission in AIMS for these courses?
Yes, AIMS offers both MBBS and BDS, and for that you have to get a very good rank in NEET. Before a few years back, AIMS used to conduct their own examination. Right now, they don't conduct their own examination for MBBS and BDS. If you get a very good rank in NEET, then you can surely get admission in AIMS.
Right. Uh, Fine. I think there is another question related to the medical. Is there any advice for students planning to study abroad? Any?
Yes,
Students
for study,
who are studying in India, for them, I mean, is there any
right,
advice, or
right,
maybe even I mean, like we are conducting this seminar in Saudi, so most of the students or parents plan for studying, like in US or
right,
Australia or something. I mean, so you have any suggestions
right.
on this?
Yes, 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 definitely. I mean, first of all, you should always be sure about the culture of the university, what kind of culture they have, whether there will be a clash, and how to prepare for that clash. Because mentally, it's a challenge to go into a very new environment and adapt to that environment. So it some students might find it difficult. So it's important that way. The other important point to keep in mind is to actually get in touch with somebody who is studying there. It's very, very important to get in touch with somebody who is right there right now, so you can get an actual feel, a real feel of what's happening there. Theoretically, things might seem very different, but somebody who's experiencing the class, experiencing the living conditions over there, might be able to. So, whoever you are reaching out for, a career counselor who is guiding you, or a career mentor or a coach, please ask them to connect you to somebody who is studying a similar course or your course over there, so that you can gain from their experiences. Apart from that, a few things are there. For example, some places have different kind of politics, so you have to be aware of that also. For example, Australia, in Australia, different is different. In New Zealand, is different. In Canada, it has become more or less subcontinent-like. So in UK, it's different. So these considerations need to be taken into account.
Yeah, sorry, I was in mute. There is another question, I mean, related to online course. A student is studying in 12th class, and he want to do, apart from his regular studies or 12th class online courses. So do you suggest that, or and if you suggest so, I mean, what is the specific course he can go for?
So there are some things that, irrespective of your stream, everybody needs to know. For example, a bit of computer skills, presentation skills will do no harm to anybody. So these kind of courses can actually do a lot of good for students. Some courses on personality skills, how to present, or how to have good communication skills. So these kind of courses are good in general for everybody. But apart from that, it will depend on the specific motivation of the person. If they want to become a writer, for instance, they can join a MOOC, a big online course or for that, where they get assignments from writers or from fellow writers. So it will depend on the particular motivation. But in general, personality development courses or skill development courses in computers, IT is for everybody. They can do this.
Right. Uh, okay. Next question. What exam we need to write for psychology? Any? For studying psychology, what
Okay.
exams
In
or
in India,
entrance?
for studying psychology, CUET is the exam to take. Common university entrance test that will give you the maximum options to get admission to psychology courses after 12.
Okay, fine. Uh, who to contact for aptitude tests? How to, I mean, have these
You can
aptitude tests?
go to our website www.ctag.in, and you can simply write in the chat box that you want an aptitude test, and they will give you an appointment, and your aptitude test will be done.
Okay, fine. I'm just noting down these details. Next question is what education options are available for work from home, specifically for girls?
For work from home, if they are, but still, like for the degree, they'll have to go to a regular proper college. Work from home options are there in IT, in education as well, in a lot of consultancy fields. But to reach to that place, the student has to get a good degree from a good place and also some experience. After that, there are options. There are definitely a lot of options in management, in consultancy, in software engineering, in IT, even in works like consumer services. So there are options, but you need to complete the studies first.
Right. Uh, can you please elaborate on career in defense sector?
In India, for defense, you will have to clear an exam called by NDA, National Defense Academy, conducted by UPSC. It's after 12. So, but it's a difficult exam to crack. It has maths and general ability in the prelims part, and then there are 2 rounds of interview and related tests, and also physical ability tests are also there in the screening process. So in the defense sector, you want to go into army, navy, or air force, you'll have to crack NDA. Or if you want to go into police, then police examinations are there. Or even you can enter into the police through the UPSC services, the UPSC IPS examinations. That's also a way.
Yeah, fine. That's okay. There is a question, I mean, for studying in Saudi universities. Uh, I think, I mean, this is related to some medical, I mean, course like MBBS or actually for this, I mean, last week we had a webinar and we have a recording of that webinar also that was specifically for medical medicine, I mean, doing medicine, studying medicine in Saudi Arabia. And for
Okay.
students who are studying in Saudi Arabia, it was very much helpful for those students. So you can ask for that video in our WhatsApp group. I will share the WhatsApp group invitation here in the chat group, so that those who are not joined to that WhatsApp group can join us, and then we can send you the recording of that seminar. You can have a clear picture of how to do medicine in Saudi Arabia. It's very very informative for those students. I'll take another question. For NRIs, how can they get into Indian universities for engineering and medicine?
For engineering and medicine, at least the students must appear for the entrance exams. They try their best for the entrance exams. Even if they don't get the best marks, some universities have these NRI quotas where you can get admission by paying a higher fees. And also, if you get a NEET rank or a JEE rank, so even private universities prefer to give admission to those students who have a rank. So first of all, the strategy should be to get a good rank in the competitions, because it is valued everywhere.
Okay.
Parvez Saab, sorry, but
Yes.
I think we are already half an hour past our time. So,
Yes. Yes.
and I have another
Okay.
session to take.
So we can conclude in 5 minutes, or you want to conclude now? Because I have a
Could we
lot of questions.
conclude now, because
Okay.
you could ask me the other questions. I will reply over WhatsApp and then put forward to the group.
Sure. Sure, sure. I will, yeah. What we can do is, I have noted all the questions. So I suggest all the participants, to join our WhatsApp group. I'm sharing our WhatsApp group invite in the chat box now. So you can join us, and you can also avail the recording of this webinar in that group. So I'm just sharing the meeting invite, the WhatsApp group invite in this chat box. So please join us, so that we can continue our questions and clear our doubts, and plan our career or students' career. For their benefit, basically. So you can ask any kind of questions there, and Mr. Faizi Rahman will also be with us in our group. So all your queries can be, and Faisal, can you just repeat the website, CTAG website, so that I will write it in the chat box, so
Yes, yes,
people
yes.
can join and take
CTAG.in.
application.
I'm sending it to you. Sure. I just sent you a message.
Okay.
CTAG.in.
Okay. CTAG.in. Okay. Uh, Fine. Participants, I'm sending you this website. You can join to this. You can go to this website, and you can take aptitude tests, and also any suggestions if you need. From CTAG, you can directly contact them and interact with them. So I think we can conclude this. Faisal, a lot of thanks to you for giving us complete insight of what the students should plan for their future education and career. So I hope this is beneficial to all the students who are in their 9th, 10th and 12th, 11th and 12th class. Also, the one last question, Faisal, and if a student has taken a particular course, let's say he is doing an engineering, and he later on, like in after completing 1 year or 2 year, he want to move to another course, he can do, or do you suggest that, or?
No, it will depend on the particular circumstance. If he's not able at all to understand, or if he doesn't see a future at all in that course, then it is of course better to switch. Of course, better to switch. I mean, there are many students who take extreme steps due to pressure. That's not good for anybody. So yes,
Right.
a mistake has been made to enter that course, but after that, of course, we can do nothing about the past. We have to think about the future.
Okay, fine, noted. So and also we everyone can reach to you through the website, isn't it?
Sure. Yes, yes. Sure, sure.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we can conclude. Thank you very much. Thank you all participants
Okay.
for being
Thank
with
you.
us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
All the best to all the participants.
Yeah. Thank you.